This is Shakandugu Kemet. This presentation is called Allah is not written in pre-dynastic Nubia Temple of Ptah. I'm going to show you a 20-second excerpt from a video that made a lot of groupies happy lately, and then I'm going to expose why it's wrong.
If you know Islam, or if you know Arabic, you know the name of Allah is written Alif Lam Lam Ha Sater. This is Wolof. This is ancient Africa. This is Alif Lam Lam Ha Sater. This is Allah.
Here's a close-up of the Medunetta. The gentleman talking is Badara Ndao. We're going to get right into it. Medunetta is a more appropriate name for what is more commonly called hieroglyphs. They are numbered, and the one that we are looking at is D37. Okay? Now D37 is sound for G. Now if you go on Wikiversity, development of hieroglyphic writing, it says D37 and D39 was a determinant meaning to offer. D37 shows an arm and a hand offering a stilized loaf of bread. For further reading, you have R.H. Wilkinson, Reading Egyptian Art, 1992. You also have a picture of Tehutimes, more commonly known as Thutmose III, showing offering, and this gesture is shown in D39. Now here's a bigger resolution of the picture. You also have a link to the website of the English Egyptologist Alan Gardiner. He's apparently the one who came up with the classification for the Medunetta, the hieroglyphs, if you will. And you can see that D37 means give, to give, okay? You can also check out hieroglyphs.net, and you can see that you have the sign, the symbol for D37, and it means give. It's a verb. Now back to Wikipedia. Don't you worry, it's not my primary sources. There will be others. You can see here the bread cone. That's inside the palm of the hand. You have an extended arm, and then in the palm of the hand you have the cone, and that's the symbol that we are dealing with. Okay, that person earlier claimed that means Allah. Okay. You have a picture of the vessel for Pepi the First said festival. If you look closely between the two ankh in the bottom, you can see the actual cone, bread cone. Okay. And talking about festival, if you check page 58 of the Per M Heru, which is more commonly known as the Book of the Dead, you have a translation of a few symbols with the one that we're dealing with. And the translation is as follows: He is the giver of life from the beginning, which makes sense according to what we saw earlier when he says that it means give, to give. Okay. Every time I quote the Per Emeru, the Book of the Dead, that's the edition that I'm talking about. Okay. That one is it's actually called the Book of the Dead, Hieroglyphic Transcript and Translation into English of the Papyrus of Ani by Wallis Budge. Now, Wikimedia Commons, you also have the symbol that we're dealing with once again, and you have a translation: given life like Ra. Now you can see the sign and the Ankh sign, which means life. You also have the the disc, the solar disc, which most of the time means Ra. So I suggest that symbol that I didn't know of means like. Okay. And underneath you have the same one, but you only have the cone this time, not the actual all arm with the cone in the palm, but it means the same thing. And now underneath you have three pictures, right? The first one is a fragment from an Egyptian stela from the New Kingdom period. It was found in ancient Ugarit. The second one, I don't really know what it is because it looks like it's German. It's some other language I can't read. It says Maler der Krabkammer des Hege, but then if you have that's a close up there, you can see the sign. It's about the in, and you have the Ankh sign as well, so it probably means give life again, something like that. And then finally, the third picture is the one that the groupies are rejoicing over. Now that one is Menrepta, that makes an offering to the god Ta, and it's actually in a museum of archaeology and anthropology at the University of Pennsylvania. Okay. Now Remember earlier I showed you two examples where the symbol D37 was linked to festivals, right? Now here's one more. Now if you go to the website of the Museum of Archaeology of Anthropology at the University of Pennsylvania, that's yeah, you go on, click on exhibit and collection, then go to Egypt, then go to Lower Egypt, the Palace of Meremta. Then if you do a search, you don't have to read all this, do a search, Control F, type in festival, and then that's what you're gonna have. The palace, which housed the king during religious festivals, originally stood in the vicinity of the Memphis sanctuary of the god Ptah. Now that was a long way. In case you want to show it to one of your friends, just tell them to go on Google and type in Lower Egyptian Gallery. You click on the second link, and then you will have it looks like an older page from the same website though, and it says the second sentence says the palace originally stood in the vicinity of the sanctuary of Ptah at Memphis, where it housed the king during religious festivals. All right. Now let's deal with examples of the symbol's actual meaning, since apparently it's supposed to mean Allah. Now go on Google and type in "giving life like Ra." That's the sentence that we had as an example earlier. And first thing that comes up is uponreflection.co.uk, and you do have some translations there. You have the symbols and then the meaning. In the second line you have "may she be given life." You can see the Ankh, which means life. You have a symbol in the middle that I do not know, and then you have the cornbread. Okay, underneath, well, while I'm at it, the Medunetta can be read from top to bottom, left to right, or right to left, but never from the bottom to the top. And the way for you to know is to look at the direction which the signs are facing. Like in this case, you can see it's facing towards the right, so you read it from right to left. And you have the sign for Sa, and then Ra, that means son of Ra. Now just underneath you have "given life like Ra forever." Now you can see the Ankh and then the cornbread at the end. If you scroll down, you have another example, and it's "given life." And you also once again have the Ankh and then the cornbread. Okay, and now I'm not tempted to give you a lesson. I just want to make it plain and simple for the sake of my argument. Now with the Medunetta you have phonograms. There's three categories. You have the single sound or consonant, such as D21, and that's the sign for the letter R. You have two sounds or consonants, such as D28, and that's the sign for Ka. And you have three sounds or consonants, such as F35, and this one is for Nefer, that's NFR. And you also have ideograms, which are signs that represent what they mean. For example, you have a man, so that means man, that's A1, and you have B1, which is a woman, so that means woman. Finally, you have determinatives, which give a general idea of the meaning of the word. Now, what's very strange to me is that Badaranda breaks down one symbol, D37, which is spelled D or J, into Lif, Lam, Lam, A, Sakar.
This is the original name of Allah. Lif, Lam, Lam, Ha, Sakar. Ha, Sakar, Ha, Sakar means the Ha of the pyramid. And this is the right hand.
Now, bear in mind that it can be safe to say that D37 is made up of D36, which is the sound for A, that's the arm, and X8, which is spelled D and means give, and that's the cornbread. Okay? Now, for example, check out the symbol D10, that's the eye of Heru, which is called Horus by many, and it's called Ujat. Now, if I was to choose 4 different parts and give a sound for each, for example, U, D, Ja, T, it would be funny anyway, but at least there would be some logic to it. But how am I supposed to make it sound other than what we know it as, which is Ujat and nothing else? Really, to me, it's as full as somebody telling me that the Ankh means Yahweh or Allah or even Yeshua. And by the way, how can Lif, Lam, Ha, Saker spell Allah? Okay? Now, do not let anybody fool you. The main symbols for divinity without specifications are R8, that's the sign for Neter. And if you have 3, that's Neteru, that's the plural. N5, that represents the sun and usually translated as Ra, and V30, pronounced Neb, usually translated as Lord or Thee. And also I would like you to pay attention to this. It's from the Per Em Heru, the Book of the Dead. That's plate 2. Now look at the second line. In the middle you have Aha, and you can see that it takes 4 symbols to have the sound Aha. And we even have the symbol D36, which Badaranda claims it means Lif Lam Lam Ha by itself. Okay? And as for Seker, you can see there on the top, it's a bit cut off, I had to scan it, but you have the Seker boat. So you can see the symbols, there's 3 symbols for Seker, then you can see the boat. And then towards the bottom, you have Ptah Seker Asar. Now the first 3 symbols, the square, the sign at the bottom, and then the what looks like a link facing up, that's for Ptah. And then after that, and also I think the gentleman sitting down, and after that you have the sign for Seker again, which is the same as the one on the top, right? And on this other page, that one, that was page, let me check it out. That was page 171, and on the previous page 170, you have once again Ptah Seker. You can see the 3 signs for Ptah, and then you have the sign for Seker, which are made of 3 symbols. Now that's very funny. If we look back again, that he breaks out one arm into Lim Lam Lam Aha Seker, and we can see how many symbols it takes just to say Seker, and earlier just to say what was it again? Aha, for example. Okay, but we're gonna move right along and see some situation where the symbol is used, and let's find out the meaning. Okay, now on page 9 of Per Emeru, once again, the Book of the Dead, you have Heru Tataf, the son of King Khufu. We have the symbol twice there, okay, the D37, and since the hawk stands for Heru and the serpent stands for the sound F, in this case D37 obviously stands for the sound Ta. Now I'm sure no one is going to tell me that Allah is the son of Khufu, right? Okay, now page 102 of the Per-Emeru, you have a translation, and underneath the sign D37 it says hath given. So once again, give, to give. Okay, now we're moving to page 103. There it says, verily a son good is of the giving of God. Okay, so we have the sign D37, and it means the giving there. Okay, once again, to give, nothing to do with Allah whatsoever. I don't think it would be it would mean verily a son good is of Allah, of God. You understand? Because we have the netter sign there. That wouldn't make sense. Okay, now page 346, number 22, the translation is as follows, which recordeth the names of those who are to receive offerings. And you can see that the sign D37 is last, so that stands for receive offerings. Once again, to give, and offering is probably linked to festivals, but anyway, we still have to give. It's the same meaning once again. Now next we're going to move to page 354. There is number 15. The translation is, doors of the lords of the Tuat, let there be given unto me. And you can see that the symbol once again is at the end, so that stands for given unto me. Once again, give, to give, right? And finally we're going to page 401. Here we're looking at 141, and the translation at the end is hidden in form, given off. Okay, then it moves to 142. But if you look on the top, where you have the D37 symbol, once again you have it twice there, and it deals with giving one, so now in conclusion, I will give you some references with other pages where you have the D37 symbol, the arm with the corn in the end, and it always has the meaning of giving or offering or granting or something like that. So you can look it up for yourself. And I understand that, a lot of you try to use Kemet somehow, some way, to give yourself some legitimacy, but you're going to have to stand with the foolishness and come correct, okay? Now, Hotep to my people, holla.
Hotep, this is Shakandugu Kemet.
That video is entitled Allah Not in Nubia, Nail in the Coffin. Now listen and watch carefully.
This is the original name of Allah.
Can you say their name again?
Leaf, lam, lam, ha, saker. Ha, saker, ha, saker means the ha of the pyramid. And this is the right hand. Like you're offering power, you're offering strength, you're offering, it's your right hand. See, the pyramid right there. And your shoulder, your elbow. Leaf, lam, lam, ha, saker. So you're using your own self, you see.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is there a relation between...
Now you seen it and you heard it. The same liar who claimed that the symbol means Allah not only did the arm gesture and said twice that it's the right hand, he also said you're offering power, you're offering strength. He said offering 3 times. Notice that the 3rd time he stopped suddenly. Now for the whole breakdown, see my videos. I will put the links in the description box, in the description section. If you are lazy, then you can go straight to part 2, starting at minute 3:30. That's when I show and prove straight from the translation that the symbol doesn't have anything to do with Allah. You will notice something else. Originally, he says, "This is Allah." See link in description once again. But now he says, "This is the original name of Allah." And I like the way he rubs his head like, I think they bought it so far, but then what is the next question going to be? Just go back and look again. The reason why I didn't show this part, which is taken from the same video, is because I thought that the liar would have the dignity and integrity to make a response and either 1, try to defend his lies, which would obviously be a bad move, 2, admit that he was wrong. It's been over 3 months since I proved that he was lying, and I figured, okay, it was weak anyway, so let it be. But the problem is that the original poster of the video is making claims that I don't want to let unchecked. So now, just witness the weakness of a lying groupie. This is what he wrote. We sent the video to all of the prominent so-called Afrocentric scholars and Egyptologists. No response from not one. Now, first of all, this anonymous, unidentified individual doesn't represent anything as far as we know, no organization, no website, and he expects the prominent so-called Afrocentric, as he puts it, to get back at him. What type of whack mentality is that? Second, he knows very well about my videos. He was mad about it. He cried about it on his own video in the comments, on other people's videos comments, because other people have uploaded that crap. And eventually, in my own videos, in the second part, because that's where I put the comment, even though it went and lied and said that I disabled the comments. But I had to block him because he was getting disrespectful. So if you don't have no respect, I block you, and you might as well go and cry with your whack groupies. You understand what I'm saying? Because I don't have time for this. Now, this is the little homie there. Only 26 friends and 41 subscribers, even though his videos has 8,000 views. It doesn't surprise me because people know the deal. They know what's up. You understand? But I guess that's one of the reasons why he's mad, because he thought he would get some play. But people don't give him the time of the day. That's why he's getting comfortable and making bold claims that I will show in a minute. Now, this is one of his nicknames, Muslim Truth Revealed. I came across this homie a while ago on a message board, and that's him there. March 2007, that's where he, as far as I know, initially let people know about this video. And the funny thing is that in the beginning of the message, he says, read the review, and the link there leads you to an article that this talks about Runoko Rashidi. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like he's trying to give himself some legitimacy by showing, look, this is Runoko Rashidi. He just explains what Rashidi went through and his work going, you know, all around the world, and showing the African presence and stuff like that. You see, even though Rashidi is not the one making those claims, you understand what I'm saying? Really, he should have put a link that says, look, this is the guy Badarandao, that's what he does, anything like that. No, he's putting Runoko Rashidi in the mix, you understand? a year and a half later, he uploads the video, okay? And that's the one there, if you want to see. Now he says, Islam and the Negro Race, I guess it's a book, pushed forward the idea that Islam, a major religion in sub-Saharan Africa, has much more unifying and fulfilling effect on sub-Saharan Africans, while Christianity, also a major religion in Africa, which was mostly introduced by its European colonizers, had a demoralizing effect. Now the dude, you know, basically it's like co-signing some book or whatever it is. I guess it's a book that says that, you know, like Islam was more unifying than Christianity. Now, first of all, to all you Arabized groupies, it wasn't all good in the hood, okay? They came in and enslaved, and our ancestors didn't have the choice. It was conversion or the sword. That's the way it was. And the enslavement lasted for 1,000 years, and that was before the European transatlantic slave trade. But you need to set the record straight, you know, even as far as saying that if there wasn't no sub-Saharan slave trade, the Arab Muslim slave trade, there probably wouldn't have been no European transatlantic slave trade, okay? Now, he talks about John Henry Clark, and that's what he says. Clark obviously changed his tune about Islam after getting indoctrinated by the CIA-funded African American Institute in 1969, right? He goes on to say, Ben Jochanan was also trained by the CIA-funded African American Institute. Chancellor Williams said despicable things about Islam. You can see where it comes from. You understand what I'm saying? Despicable things about Islam. What good can we say about 1,000 years of slavery? You know what I'm saying? I don't know what good can we say. Chancellor Williams said despicable things about Islam, Arabs, and African American Muslims. The destruction book Williams wrote is fiction that somehow was sold to the uninformed African American populace as documented history. Williams has no footnotes because it's fiction. In his first edition, Williams said Arabs are white. Then he took that out in subsequent editions. Arabs are not white. Laughing out loud, right? He says, he talks about an article presenting convincing evidence that the CIA has promoted black cultural nationalism to reinforce neocolonialism in Africa. Now he goes on to say, among us include John Henry Clark, Joseph Ben Jochanan. And he says, because they were trained to attack Islam. He says, what smokes them is its pyramid text, which denotes pre-dynastic before Kemet in Egypt. And he goes on, you know, pyramid text is read vertically, dynastic period text, hieratic and demotic is horizontal. You can see the dude don't even know what the heck he's talking about, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to move on. But the thing there, look at this. Islam is not a religion. Yeah, right. It's yeah, whatever. Okay. Talking about the liar, he goes on to say, he speaks and reads the language that your European Egyptologists claim was lost. Once again, if he can't speak it, he needs to tell us what the symbol means on all these pages there, because it occurs, and obviously it doesn't mean Allah. Otherwise, please holler at us and just tell us what the sentence means. You know what I'm saying? Not just the whole symbol as you describe it to your own convenience, but the whole sentence, and we'll have fun. Next, he says, by the way, it's pyramid text, not hieroglyph. Pyramid text is close to Syriac heretic script. Now that homie is telling us that it's pyramid text, it's not hieroglyph. Now hieroglyph, as far as I'm concerned, is Meduneter. So you're just telling me it's pyramid text, but not Meduneter. Once again, you don't know what the heck you're talking about. But it gets worse. Here it says, the first temple of Ptah was built in the 3rd millennium, which is 6,000, 7,000 years before anything existed in the Indus Valley. Now on Britannica, it says that the Indus Valley civilization starts between 2500 to 1700 BC. Okay, and MSN and Carter gives the same date. Okay, so we just round it up. 2000 BC. You add, I take the smallest date, which is 6000 BC. That's 8000 BC. Okay. Now remember that it says Ptah is pre-dynastic, built by Narmer Menes. And Narmer lived around 3000 BC. How could he have built something that was there around 8000 BC? You see, and that's a type of little homie that the group is being impressed by. Anyway, we know historically that it was Narmer Menes who built the temples of Ptah in pre-dynastic Nubia. First of all, anybody who has done the slightest research about Narmer will know that he is known for being the unifier of Upper and Lower Egypt. He is known as the founder of the first dynasty, so it is wrong to talk about pre-dynastic period.